Greetings to everyone. This is Engineer Amod Kumar Bag, Assistant Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Gopal Krishna College of Engineering and Technology, Jaipur. So in this video, we will discuss 8 things regarding the fundamental things of computer, like functionalities of computer, advantages of computer, generation of computer, types of computer, components of computer, computer memory, memory unit, and computer hardware and software. So let us discuss about computer and its fundamental things in this video. Keep watching. The computer is a programmable finite state machine, or we can say the binary device. Why it is binary device means it can understand only 0 and 1. So the computer is an binary machine or programmable device, a finite state machine which takes input from the user, process the data and gives the output. So there are various components present in computer we will discuss in this video. Before that, we will see about the functionalities of a computer. In the functionality part, I have kept 5 steps. It will look at it in a very broad sense. And a digital computer carries out the following 5 functions. I will keep these functions into 5 steps. So in step 1, we will see it takes data as input. In step 2, it stores the data and instructions in its memory and uses them as required. In step 3, it processes the data and converts it into useful information. In step 4, it generates the output. In step 5, it controls all the above 4 steps. So these are the functionalities of computer we have seen here. So there are certain advantages of computers. Nowadays computers is used in various industries, in medical purpose, for research purpose, in educational purpose. In everywhere we are using computer. Without computer, the world cannot run nowadays. So what are the certain advantages? Let us discuss here. Computer is high speed, more accuracy, reliability, automation, versatility, and reduction in paperwork and cost. What is high speed? Computer is a very fast device. It can execute a particular task in very few seconds. We can call it as micro or nano or picosecond, which is very small. It can perform millions of calculations in a few seconds as compared to men who will spend many months to do the same task. So for that we are using computer. That's what computer is an high speed device. Accuracy. In addition to being very fast, computers are very accurate machine. That means it will execute and gives the exact answer. It calculates and give 100% error free result in the output device, right? That's what it has more accuracy. Reliability. It is reliable. Maintenance cost is very low. Automation. When the user instructs something, it will operate automatically. Versatility. The same machine can be used for various purposes. And also, computer is much more helpful because it helps us to reduce much more paper to do a task. Why? Whenever we are doing some calculation, if we get some wrong answer, we are tearing that paper and throwing into dustbin. But in computer, no need to do all those things. Simply we'll erase the data. Once again we'll retype it. That's very nice, and it will save our cost. Next we'll see the generation of computer. What is the generation of computer? Generation in computer terminology is a change in technology a computer is being used. Initially, the generation term was used to distinguish between varying hardware technology, but nowadays generation includes both hardware and software as well as the whole component together to make an entire computer system. So we have five generation of computer. So what are those five generation of computer? We'll see. First generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and fifth generation. First generation, the time period was 1964 to 1959, which was vacuum tube based. And second generation was the time period is 1959 to 1965, which is. In third generation, we can see the time period was 1965 to 1971, and integrated circuit based. Fourth generation, the time period was 1971 to 1980. Here, VLSI microprocessor based very large scale integrated system has been implemented in this fourth generation. But in fifth generation, it started from 1980 to till now. Here ULSI microprocessor has been implemented. What is ULSI? Ultra large scale integrated microprocessor based system. So these are the five generation of computer we have seen here. Now we will discuss about the types of computer. There are five types of computer present. What are those? PC, workstation, mini computer, mainframe computer, supercomputer. PC stands for personal computer, that is single user computer like this laptop, desktop. And workstation, this is also similar to PC, but it is more powerful in the microprocessor. Mini computer, this is multi-user system capable to connect hundred of users simultaneously. What is mainframe? It is same as mini computer, but the software technology has been improved. And in supercomputer, it is an extremely fast computer which can execute hundreds of millions of instructions per second. So this is all about your types of computer. Now we will see the component of computers. What are the components of computer available? Mainly we can divide it into three parts. One is input part, control unit, and output. So here I want to show you input unit. You can see this diagram. This middle one is your CPU, central processing unit, output unit. In CPU we have three main parts: memory unit, control unit, arithmetic and logical unit, that is ALU. So what will happen in input unit? In input unit, the input will be given by the user through the input device to the control unit. The control unit will store the input instruction given by the user. Finally, it will process the instruction or data and gives the output in the output unit by the output device. Now I want to give few example about input unit, input device like keyboard, mouse, digital pen, joysticks, barcode reader, microphone, etc. Through that input device we can give input to the CPU or central processing unit. Now I want to describe the CPU. CPU is divided into three parts. See, memory unit. In memory unit we can store the data. Types of memory I will discuss later on. In control unit C, we have processor, an arithmetic and logic unit. Here, in arithmetic and logic unit, all the arithmetic operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication and division will be done. Also, the logical expression also being executed in this ALU. Finally, through this control unit, the processing unit, the output will be given through the output device. So this is all about your component of computers. I have left one thing to give example about your output device. Output devices are like CRT, cathode ray tube based monitor, and also flat panel display. We know LED and LCD. These are the types of monitor available in the market and we are using nowadays. Now we will discuss the computer memory. Then what is memory? A memory is just like human brain. It is used to store data and instructions. Computer memory is the storage space in the computer where data is to be processed and instructions required for processing are stored. Each location or cell has a unique address which varies from 0 to memory size minus 1. So this is the formula to calculate the unique address of the memory location. I want to give one example to calculate the memory location. If the computer has 64K words, then this memory unit has 64 into 1024 equal to 65,536 memory location. Now we can calculate the unique address of that memory location is by the formula. The address of the location varies from 0 to size minus 1. What is the size here? 65,536. So minus 1 equal to 65,535. Now we have various types of memory. So what are those? Cache memory, primary memory, secondary memory. What is cache memory? Cache memory is the temporary memory which is situated between main memory and the processor. This is processor and this is your primary memory or main memory, and this is your cache memory. So cache memory is present in between primary and processor. Why cache memory is needed? Primary memory is very small in size than your secondary memory. So let me tell you what is secondary memory. Secondary memory is nothing but the permanent memory. For example, hard disk drive, pen drive, memory chips, etc., which is non-volatile in nature. What is non-volatile in nature? Non-volatile is nothing but the data will remain as it is. That means it won't be erased when the power supply will be off. That is non-volatile. So secondary memory is permanent memory and non-volatile memory. So the main data will be stored in this permanent memory. From permanent memory, the data will be stored in main memory to execute. But frequently used instruction or data will be stored in cache memory. This is very small memory because again and again the same data will be executed in processor, means no need to come to primary memory because primary memory is very short memory. So to save that memory, we are using cache memory. Now primary memory are the temporary memory, example RAM and ROM. We know RAM is present in between your secondary memory, hard disk drive and processor. See, RAM, this is primary memory, RAM is present in between, this is hard disk drive and processor. Secondary memory is hard disk, as I told you. It won't erase the data even after the power is switched off. This is all about your computer memory. Now let me tell you how the memory unit will be naming in the memory device. Let me tell you, memory unit is the amount of data that can be stored in the storage unit. The storage capacity is expressed in terms of bytes. And as I told you, computer is a binary machine which can understand only 0 and 1. Now see, here we'll discuss about memory unit. First one is bit, that is called binary digit, either 0 and 1. This is 1 bit, this is 1 bit. A binary digit is logical 0 and 1, representing a passive or an active state of a component in an electric circuit called as bit. What is nibble then? A group of 4 bits is called nibble. 4 bits is called nibble. Byte. A group of 8 bits is called 1 byte. What is word? A computer word is a group of fixed number of bits processed as a unit. It's called word. So I have kept here a table that some higher storage units and its description. So let's see. Number 1, bit. I told you 1 or 0. Nibble. 4 bits consists of 1 nibble. 1 byte. 1 byte consists of 8 bits. I told you already. Next, kilobyte, KB, equal to 1024 byte. Megabyte, MB. 1024 KB will make 1 MB. Gigabyte. 1024 MB will create 1 GB. TB, terabyte. 1024 GB will make 1 TB. Petabyte. 1024 TB will make 1 PB. So this is about your memory unit. Now we will discuss computer hardware and software. What is computer hardware and what is computer software? Computer hardware and software are the main component of a computer. That is, we can say the computer has been divided into main two parts, that is software part and hardware part. What is hardware part? The physical component to which we can see and we can touch. That physical component of a computer is known as hardware part. For example, input devices, output devices, processing units and all, like keyboard, mouse, monitor, CPU, hard disk drive, processor, all these things to which you can see and touch, that is called hardware part. Now, what is software part of a computer? It is the programmable part, or it is a set of programs which is designed to perform a well-defined function or to solve a specific task is known as software of a computer. A program is a sequence of instructions written to solve a particular problem. There are mainly two types of softwares present in computer. What are those? Those are system software and number 2 is application software. What is system software? The system software is a collection of programs designed to operate, control, and extend the process compatibility of the computer itself. System software serves as the interface between the hardware and the end user. That means without system software, user cannot use the computer. So there are some example of system software: operating system, compiler, interpreter, assembler. These all are the examples of system software. What is operating system? This is a system software which is used to run the computer system. Under operating system only we can run our application software. Operating system is a system software which acts as an interface between the user and the computer device. There are so many examples are there regarding your operating system, like Windows XP, Windows Vista, Ubuntu, Kubuntu, and nowadays current versions, Windows 8, Windows 9, Windows 10, 11, 12. These are the various versions. Linux. These are the various versions of operating systems. Last but not the least, about today's video, I want to keep application software. Application software are the software. This is the particular software which is used to do a specific task of the user and which runs under the operating system. Without operating system, we cannot run an system application software. So there are various examples of application softwares like payroll software, window media player, student record software, income tax software, railway reservation software, Microsoft Office, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, VLC media player, video game. These all are the application softwares. So this is all about today's video. Thank you so much.